Okay. Sirens in the background.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Right now I have both GoPros going at the same time, and I'm going to use the Hero5 now so you can hear the audio, you can see the visual. Now I'm going to go to Hero3 Silver. You're going to get the audio, you're going to get the visual. We're going to see which one's better, just for the indoor kind of typical use indoor. Just for the indoor kind of typical use indoors. Now I'm going to take it outside. I'm going to show you a comparison between the 3 Silver edition and the Hero5 Black. Let's do it. All right, I'm going to go check the stabilization. I figure what better place to do that than in downtown Annapolis on some cobblestone streets. So I do have the image stabilization on now, and I do have auto audio, so I don't know if you're picking up wind or what, but I'll switch it back and forth from the wind reduction to stereo to see if there's a difference. This is the wind reduction mode in the audio, again with the image stabilization on, wind reduction mode on. And here is audio with the stereo mode on, so it should be picking up quite a bit more wind compared to when it was on the wind mode. Just for an audio comparison and video comparison, this is my 3 Silver, and we're in medium view, and it's regular audio. I don't have the case on it because you can't use the case when you're getting audio on the old version of the Hero3 Silver. And also you're going to notice it's probably a lot shakier because there's no image stabilization. So that's just a comparison sample right there. One thing I am noticing with this LCD screen is that you reach around when you kind of tweak it, and you sometimes hit the back of the LCD with your finger, and it can make it go into another mode, so that's a little funky and tricky. So you got to make sure not to hit the LCD with your finger as you're shooting. I'm going to mess around with the field of view. This should be in the super view. Now the best way to get the most options with the field of view would be to put it in 1080p. I noticed even in the 720 it doesn't have linear option, for example, but 1080p has all the field of view options. This is super view. This is wide view. This is medium view. This is linear view. And finally, this is narrow view. Okay, I'm going to switch it back to medium view, and I'm going to head downtown to historic Annapolis so I can get on some cobblestone streets and check out the image stabilization. All right, here we are in downtown Annapolis. We've got the beautiful Capitol building behind me. This is the historic Capitol, which was once the capital of the U.S. before it moved to Washington, D.C. As you can see, we've got some cobblestone or brick streets that I will experiment with the image stabilization. And this is image stabilization off, shooting forward. Alright, check out some image stabilization on, shooting forward. And heading toward the Capitol with the old GoPro Hero Silver 3 Plus. Alright, here is image stabilization off. It is it's moderately bumpy on this street. So we got image stabilization off. And okay, this should be image stabilization on. Image stabilization on. While we're here, let's check out, here's the Capitol, and here is the governor's mansion. We got some sort of Secret Service-ish cars there. And that's the governor's mansion. Let's do a quick loop around the State House circle. This is, again, image stabilization on. And what am I in, 720? I've got it in the medium view, field of view mode. Got a slow car in front. Check out the Capitol building. And some historic buildings. Again, image stabilization is on. Whoops, bump. Annapolis Pottery. Beautiful fall colors. Some cool shops. Harry Brown's restaurant. And the State House. Another cool feature of this new camera is that you can do an exposure. You can actually change the exposure by touching the back of the screen. So what you do is you hold down your finger on the back of the screen for about 3 seconds, and then this little box appears where it says auto exposure, and you can, if you click on different areas of the screen, like I just clicked on the tree and it exposed the tree better where it's washing out the left little house. I click on the house, bam, exposure is on the house and on that car coming, and the tree is very dark. So it's similar to your smartphone where you click on a part of the screen and it'll do the exposure for that part. That's actually a really great feature. It's a little tricky to find because you have to hold your finger on the back of the screen for like 3 seconds before this little box will pop up. But once it does, clicked on the tree right there, I'm going to click on the house, and that's pretty cool. All right, I am back on the old camera, the Hero3 Silver. I've got to extend my arm with it because I do not have any type of tripod or anything, because I have it out of the housing, just so I can get the audio. So there's no housing, just holding my hand, and we're going to see how it compares when you got the cars going by. I'm speaking up because of the wind and also the cars, and there's no image stabilization. However, I will point out that the battery on this thing is still pretty much fully charged. Okay, I'm now at 18% battery on this GoPro Hero 5. I've got image stabilization on. I've got wind audio on. I'm gonna ride my bike down one more location just so I can show you the quintessential Maryland landscape. First of all, you see behind me some of the trees that are changing colors. And I want to show you one of my favorite bridges that is kind of quintessential Maryland. Here we go. I started editing the video and it dawned on me I forgot to do some low light tests, so I'm going to try that now. The video. I am now using linear view, which I know a lot of people love. It only comes up in 1080p though. I don't know why it doesn't allow it for in 720. I like the linear, but I also like 720. I know people are gonna say, get with the times, dude. Everybody's shooting in 4K. It's just so tough to edit some larger file formats, especially on my MacBook Air. But I just got a MacBook Pro, so I might start bumping up. Whoa, big bump, speaking of which. I might bump up to the 1080 and get with the times. And maybe in 5 or 10 years, I'll get to 4K. Anyway, that concludes. Hope you enjoyed. And I think I'm gonna enjoy this GoPro Hero 5. Talk to you later.